updates on the fire in Portage County last night.
New York Times journalists are going on strike, why they are, and the changes they demand.
Brittany Griner is back in the U.S., and we have the latest on what politicians are saying about the bringing of American citizens home from Russia.
And Time Magazine has announced their Heroes of the Year award for 2022. We have these stories and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Portage County. Thank you so much for joining us on the last Friday newscast of the semester. I'm Anthony Furiga.
And I'm Sydney Brown.
We start tonight with a local focus that is impacting many students since Kent State classes officially ended today.
But college students aren't done yet, as many still have to prepare for finals next week. Our reporter Jacob Brooks has more on how students can prep for the daunting week ahead. Hi, Jacob.
Daunting's a good way to put it. It is that time of year again. Finals week is upon us, and the library is full of students who are getting ready.
Very often, and these past 2 weeks has been a lot of new faces that I've never seen here before.
I'm really stressed out.
As for how stressed students are, that depends on who you ask. Some are feeling the end of the semester crunch.
It's a little stressful, but I'm getting through it.
While others say it could be worse.
I'm not as stressed because I just finished architecture, but I still have 3 more finals to go, so it's going to be a little rough.
I feel like I'm in a good position, but obviously it's finals, so you're going to have that stress no matter what. Like I said, I only have one actual test, so that's the only thing I'm kind of stressed out about.
Everyone has different studying techniques too, like studying with friends or rewriting notes or using the classic digital flashcards.
Mostly using Quizlet, because that has a bunch of different methods of quizzing me, and that helps me remember a lot of the content.
While everyone's finals week looks a little different, everyone does have some advice for how to get through it.
Don't wait till finals week to start reviewing for finals, if that makes sense.
Make sure you get a good balance of sleep, still having fun and studying.
Just really use your resources, go to SI sessions, go to tutoring, and find a friend who's in your major that you can work with.
And as the semester nears its end, Kent State alumni will soon grow by 2,500 people. Fall commencement will be held next Saturday on December 17th. The class of 2022 will be recognized in person and live streamed for viewers at home at kent.edu/commencement. And while this is our last broadcast of the semester, you can still keep up to date with the latest from Kent Wired on all social media platforms. For TV2 News, I'm Jacob Brooks.
Thank you, Jacob. University Housing will be performing maintenance on fan coil units in student dorms over winter break starting on December 18th. No furniture or property should be within 2 feet of the HVAC unit in the room. If any student is staying in a dorm over winter break, University Housing will be providing room occupied signs to let staff know that the room is occupied. And University Housing stated that if any student who lives in a double room by themselves, they should prepare their room in the very likely case a new roommate moves in. The Festival of Lights event presented by the Kent Area Chamber of Commerce has been rescheduled for December 10th. The event will begin at 5:30 p.m. and will go until 9 p.m. There will be cookies, cocoa, Christmas caroling, carriage rides, and free books for kids. And Santa and Mrs. Claus will be making an appearance as well.
Chabad of downtown Cleveland's Jewish Center is holding a menorah lighting at Public Square. This annual event is held to remember Hanukkah, but will also be broadcasted to encourage viewers at home to participate and light their own menorahs at the same time. But they are also providing menorah kits for young adults. The menorah lighting will be December 21st at 6 p.m.
Hello all Portage County and Northeast Ohio. Hope you're having a nice Friday evening out there. I'm TV2 weather anchor Odin Amador-Gorby with your Friday evening weather forecast. Currently in Kent right now, it is a clear night evening out there. 35 degrees, feels like 37 out there. It is definitely a very nice evening. Winds moving west at 10 miles per hour. It is definitely a great evening out there to go out and about and get things done. And as we look at your Northeast Ohio temperatures, we are dealing with temperatures in the lower 30s to even 40s in some spots. 35 in Kent, 43 in Cleveland, Worcester at 38, Mansfield at 41, Sandusky at 39 degrees. It is definitely a cooler evening out there, so bundle up if you're heading out and about tonight. It's going to definitely be a chilly one for sure. And as we look towards your nighttime forecast, we will be dealing with cloudy skies towards your 7 o'clock. But watch out, though, because towards 9 o'clock, we will start to deal with some snow showers as the front is going to be coming in tonight. And then towards your 11 o'clock, that snow will transition into rain with temperatures in the lower 30s. So it's going to definitely be an interesting night for sure. It's going to start off clear, but then towards the evening, we will start to see that rain showers as that band comes through with a mixture of rain and snow. That's all I have for now. In my next update, I'll have your weekend weather forecast. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thanks, Odin. A week after the former Star of the West mill caught fire, another fire in Portage County happened last night. The fire broke out on State Route 5 in Charlestown Township at Patrick Evacuating and Trucking Company. The flames were contained by midnight, but firefighters were still putting out hot spots this morning. In Charlestown, they have a volunteer fire department, so crews from Ravenna City Fire Department were also on the scene, which helped open up State Route 5 more efficiently.
Akron teachers are raising concerns over the safety of students and themselves after increased violence in several schools across the area. On Monday, a loaded gun was found inside a backpack at Litchfield Middle School. On November 4th, a student was stabbed at Firestone High School, and another student was stabbed on November 30th at Butchell High School. There will be talks of security upgrades at the next Akron Education Association's board meeting on Monday.
The two inmates who escaped a community-based correctional facility in Elyria have been found and taken into custody. Johnny L. Brooks, Jr. was found Friday at the Red Roof Inn in Springfield Township, and Stephen A. Carpenter was arrested after someone spotted him in a neighborhood in Wadsworth. They escaped by breaking a window Wednesday evening, but a woman has also been arrested for harboring the two escapees.
Governor Mike DeWine and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources have announced that they will be equipping all of their natural resources and wildlife officers with body cams. ODNR got approval from the Ohio Controlling Board to use $3.5 million in federal funding to purchase the cameras. The cameras plan to be rolled out by the end of this year, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol has also begun outfitting their officers with body cameras as well. Kristen Sinema has changed political parties, what this means for the Senate majority and the future of the Democratic Party.
And when we come back, I'll have your Health Minute and all more health news.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
Welcome back. The FDA department announced the release of an over-the-counter drug that could be a life-saving resource.
Our reporter Joe Malbin has more. Hi, Joe.
Hi guys, a life-saving nasal spray is set as available as soon as next year. Mandy Gather has the story.
It's an important weapon in the fight against opioid overdose deaths in the U.S.
Naloxone is a medication that is saving lives in my community and in my hospital every day.
Narcan is the brand name version of naloxone. It's used to reverse an opioid overdose. The drug maker says the nasal spray has now been granted priority review by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which means it could be available over the counter by the end of March.
Currently, Narcan is available without a prescription in all 50 states, but every state has its own set of policies that can be confusing, and that kind of confusion is exactly what we do not want.
In some states, Narcan is placed behind the counter, meaning a person would have to talk to a pharmacy employee to get it. Last year, there were more than 107,000 estimated drug overdose deaths in the U.S., according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The agency says synthetic opioids accounted for most of the deaths.
Narcan is very simple to use. It is safe, it is effective. It's something that all of us can carry in our pocket in case we come across someone who's experiencing an overdose.
If approved by the FDA, the drug maker says Narcan would be the first 4 milligram naloxone nasal spray available over the counter in the U.S. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And hospitals are filling up fast this holiday season as a result of the so-called triple-demic. The RSV, COVID-19, and flu virus have caused a spike in hospitalization. Current hospital capacity is currently as low as it's been since the Omicron variant's peak. According to new government data, and some pediatricians have said that children have been affected the most by this triple-demic. And at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, there wasn't personal protective equipment for head coverings. 2 Muslim women in Minneapolis, Yasmin Samatar and Farioli Adam, who regularly wear hijabs, decided to create hijabs that act as personal protective equipment. The pair of healthcare workers created disposable hygienic hijabs. Now they are working with hospitals to make sure these hijabs are available for Muslim healthcare workers and patients. Ultrasounds have allowed pregnant women to be able to see their unborn child for years. But what about women who are visually impaired? When Dr. Katie Sepke heard that her visually impaired patient, Ashton Johnson, was pregnant, she teamed up with Dr. John Coate to create 3D printed ultrasounds for Ashton. She was able to interact with her child for the first time. Reporting for TV2, I'm Joe Malbin. This has been your Health Minute.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's a look now at your statewide temperatures, and right now our temperatures are in the lower 30s, almost hitting 40 in some spots. Some spots are even hitting 50, like in Columbus, 48, but it's 39 in Akron, 41 in Steubenville, 38 in Lima, 44 in Dayton, 51 in Columbus, and 50 in Athens. So it's definitely a cooler evening out there, a little warmer, but it is a lot cooler of an evening out there for sure. And as we look towards your weekend forecast, we are going to be dealing with tomorrow. We're going to just be dealing with cloudy skies throughout the day, 44 degrees. It is definitely going to be a nice day out there. Cloudy skies all throughout the day. Sunset at 4:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as we look towards your Sunday, we will continue to have cloudy skies again. It's the same weather pattern for most of the day. 43 degrees, sunset 4:56 p.m. So it definitely will be a nice evening for sure, and a nice weekend as well. And as we look towards your 7-day outlook, we will be dealing with cloudy skies for your Saturday and Sunday, and cloudy skies for your Monday with highs up in the 40s, almost hitting 40 on Monday with 38. Tuesday we will be dealing with partly cloudy skies, 41 degrees. But then towards Wednesday, we will start to see a mixture of rain and snow come in with highs up in the 40s. But then towards your Thursday, that same weather pattern will continue with highs up in the upper 40s. And then towards Friday, we will see snow showers with high of 36 degrees. So it's going to definitely be an interesting week ahead for sure. But as we can see, that's how weather is in Northeast Ohio. And that about wraps up my weather forecast for this evening. That about wraps up my Friday evening weather forecast. Please stay warm and dry out there. Have a great weekend, everybody. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thank you, Odin. Brittany Griner arrived back in the U.S. today after she was freed from a Russian prison in exchange for Victor Bout, a convicted Russian arms dealer. Griner arrived in Fort Sam Houston's Joint Base in San Antonio, where she will be inspected and receive any necessary medical treatment. Russian officials refused to release another jailed American, Paul Whelan, and focus has also been put on another American who is known to be in Russia's penal colonies, Mark Fogel.
The New York Times is making headlines. Workers from the news outlet are going on strike against management after nearly 2 years of adjustment contract negotiations. On Thursday, hundreds of employees participated in a 24-hour walkout on the streets of NYC. Their frustrations are primarily with pay. One journalist saying, quote, "We want a fair contract. We haven't had a wage raise in nearly 2 years." Some workers shared that the current salary isn't sustainable to be living in or around New York City.
Removing myself from the partisan structure, not only is it true to who I am and how I operate, I also think it'll provide a place of belonging for many folks across the state and the country who also are tired of the partisanship.
Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema has announced that she is leaving the Democratic Party and becoming a member of the Independent Party. This comes after Democrats secured the majority in the Senate following the Georgia runoff election with Raphael Warnock. Sinema stated that she is willing to work with both parties to help get legislation passed, and her voting beliefs in the Senate will not change following the party switch. And the former police officer who aided in the second-degree manslaughter of George Floyd in May 2020, J. Alexander King, has been sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. King admitted under a plea deal that he held Floyd's torso, knowing that Floyd was in a prone position which creates a substantial risk, and that the restraint of Floyd was unreasonable. King, along with the 2 other officers who aided in the manslaughter, have been convicted of depriving Floyd of his right to medical care and were also convicted of failing to intervene to stop Derek Chauvin of killing George Floyd.
The Justice Department wants to hold former President Trump in contempt over classified documents from Mar-a-Lago. This news comes after Trump's legal team conducted searches at 4 locations and turned over 2 more classified documents. However, the Justice Department believes that the recent searches are unsatisfactory. But as the investigation continues, the pressure against President Trump increases as he could face criminal liabilities.
UK-funded trucks carrying aid have arrived in Tigray in Ethiopia. Many people living in the city have been cut off from aid during a 2-year conflict in the country. The UK is also preparing to help support the peace process in Ethiopia, along with economic reforms and bringing justice to the country.
Chinese and Saudi Arabian leaders agreed on national issues ranging from security to oil during their summit meeting today. The nations released a joint statement where they will support one another without interfering in one another's domestic policies. The agreement covers almost 4,000 policies, including international agreements about Russia's war on Ukraine and Iran's nuclear program. Both countries have been heavily criticized for their human rights records, and this diplomacy encourages change.
Laws were passed on Thursday in South Korea to scrap its traditional methods of counting ages and to adopt the international standard. The change will make South Koreans either 1 or 2 years younger on official documents. The old system made South Koreans a year old when they are born, and a year is added on at the beginning of the year. The new laws will take effect in June 2023.
Time magazine has made the women of Iran the 2022 Heroes of the Year. Their December-January issue of the magazine recognizes the young women of Iran as the face of the revolution against the Islamic regime. The article also credits the generation of women who paved the way before them.
Kent State has officially announced Sean Lewis's departure to the University of Colorado. We'll have all the updates from Dick Stadium after the break.
And today marks an important holiday tradition for many families. How you can celebrate coming up.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello, everybody. I am Jack Berney here live outside of Dick Stadium with tonight's TV2 Sports Report. We have all the updates regarding Kent State head coach Sean Lewis's departure to be the offensive coordinator at the University of Colorado. Last night, the Kent State Athletic Department officially announced Lewis's immediate resignation. Following his reported departure, a total of 13 players have entered the transfer portal, including the team's leading passer, rusher, and 2 leading receivers. Lewis's 5-year run included several highlights, including the program's first ever bowl win in the 2019 Frisco Bowl and an appearance in the MAC championship game and the famous Idaho Potato Bowl last season. Kent State Athletic Director Randall Richmond released a statement saying, quote, "A national search for the next head coach of the Golden Flashes is underway." And with that being said, let's take a look at some of the potential candidates to be the next head coach of Kent State. The in-house candidate that has been mentioned is current offensive coordinator Andrew Souter. Souter has worked alongside Sean Lewis at Eastern Illinois, Bowling Green, and Kent State sources have told TV2 that Lewis endorsed Souter to replace him. Vince Perez is another MAC coordinator that has been discussed. He is the defensive coordinator at Toledo and the former coach at Mount Union, where he won 2 national titles. Other names mentioned include Ohio State's running backs coach Tony Alford and Wisconsin defensive coordinator Mike Tressel. And another all-MAC performer for Kent State has entered the transfer portal. Standout sophomore wide receiver Devontae Walker is in the transfer portal, first reported by Matt Zenitz of On3 Sports and later confirmed by Walker via Instagram. Walker was named the MAC's wide receiver of the year after racking up 921 yards and 11 touchdowns. It's another big blow for the Golden Flashes as 6 offensive starters will be transferring from the university. And we will have updates on this developing story on Twitter at TV2 KSU Sports, so be sure to follow us there so you don't miss a thing. I've been Jack Berney, signing off from Dick Stadium. Back to you guys in the studio.
Tom Cruise will receive a major award in February, but not for acting. Stay tuned to find out what for.
Welcome back. Actor and producer Tom Cruise will revive an award from the PGA, and Everything, Everywhere, All at Once actor will be joining the land of Oz.
CNN's David Daniel has today's Hollywood Minute.
I'm just trying to make the best movie I can.
Tom Cruise is set to receive the Producers Guild of America's Selznick Achievement Award, which goes to a producer or producing team for an extraordinary body of work in motion pictures. Cruise began producing his films with 1996's Mission Impossible. The PGA said in a statement, Tom approaches producing with the same meticulous attention to detail he brings to all of his professional endeavors. He'll be honored at the 34th Producers Guild Awards, February 25th in Beverly Hills.
I think I needed all these experiences that I had to go through as an actor to bring me to this place.
Michelle Yeoh appears headed to the land of Oz. Variety reports the Everything Everywhere All at Once star has joined the cast of the Wicked movies. She'll reportedly play Madame Morrible, a headmistress at Shiz University. The 2-part feature adaptation of the Wizard of Oz prequel is due in theaters December of 2024 and 2025. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Friday is National Christmas Card Day. It's a reminder to get your stamps, envelopes, and cards together and update your mailing list to share the holiday cheer. Or maybe you want to send e-cards this year. You can post to the hashtag Christmas Card Day.
Some fun facts about today. Sir Henry Cole, an illustrator, created the first commercial Christmas card in Britain in 1843. Meanwhile, the first commercial card was produced in the U.S. in 1875. Have you guys sent your Christmas cards out yet?
You know, I don't know.
You don't know yet?
No, 'cause
you haven't been home.
Yeah, I haven't been home yet.
Yeah.
Usually my dad is the one who takes care of our Christmas cards, so I'll have to see when I go back after we are done here for the semester.
Do you get a say in like what's in it though?
No.
No?
No. I just go with the flow.
Okay.
What about you though?
Well, we always like try to be creative. Like my parents, I think, are just the visionaries, I guess, behind it. I think my favorite one is like Santa's like been watching us or whatever. So then you have like us on like various like fun pictures throughout the year.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
always something interesting.
Yeah, we do like pictures throughout the year as well.
Yeah. It's just an easy thing to do.
Yeah. And that is all the time that we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us on our last newscast of the semester.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com and our social media at KentWired. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Anthony Furiga. Thank you so much and have a great night, Portage County.